The drivers get all the attention, the cabinet gets all the looks, but the crossover, that's the part doing the quiet, invisible work of tying the whole thing together. And that's the reason you can't just take a kit and build it into any box you want. And that's the wall I hit with my own speaker. Let me back up a little bit. I'm a manufacturing guy. I've been doing it for decades. Materials, molds, tooling, casting, that's my world. I can take a cabinet from a sketch in CAD to a finished enclosure. I'll put my name on it without blinking. But I had to be honest with myself about something. A speaker isn't just a box. You can build the most beautiful cabinet in the world, and if the crossover is wrong, none of it really matters. It'll sound like junk. The crossover is the brain. It's what takes a woofer, a tweeter, and a cabinet and makes them work as one speaker. One unit, and that is not my discipline. So when I set out to build this, I had a real decision to make about that crossover. And to explain the call I made, I've got to show you how most DIY speakers get built. So most people start with a kit, and it's a great way to build a speaker for most people. It wasn't going to work for what I had in mind though. I know how kits work because that's how I started. One of my first speakers was a kit from Parts Express, the C-Note. If you've never built one, a kit is about the most approachable way to get into this hobby. You get the drivers, you get the crossover, you get a cabinet designed to build them into. And here's the part that matters. That crossover isn't generic. It's designed for that exact cabinet design. The drivers, the box, the crossover, they're a matched set. Somebody did the engineering so you didn't have to. Build it the way it's drawn up, and you get a great speaker for not a ton of money. That's the whole appeal, and that's why kits are so good. I'm a creator. I wanted to do my own design, so I didn't cut an MDF box. I cast one, my own. And that one decision, the thing that made it mine, is the thing that quietly changed the rules. Here's what I mean by changed the rules. The C-Note crossover was tuned for the C-Note box. A specific size, a specific shape. The second I cast my own cabinet, it wasn't that box anymore. So the matched set wasn't matched. For a first build, learning the ropes, that's a good way to go. That's fine, it worked. I had a blast making it, but it wasn't the speaker the designer engineered anymore. It was something in between. His crossover, my speaker cabinet. And the day I decided to stop messing around to build something I could be proud of, the something in between wasn't going to cut it. If the cabinet is going to be mine, the crossover has to be built for it, not borrowed, not close enough, but designed for this box. And that's the line. I can design the box, cast it, tool it, finish it. That's my manufacturing experience. That's my lane. Designing a crossover from scratch for my mineral cast enclosure, my drivers, well, that's a different profession. And if I was going to do it right, I needed someone from that profession. I want to thank this week's sponsor, Pale Blue Batteries. They've got these really cool batteries that have a USB-C charging port right on the battery. No need for a wall charger. Just take a power bank on the go and have power anytime you need it. Pale Blue Batteries, they're awesome. Now right about here you might be thinking, it's just a box. How much can the shape really matter? It's also exactly where I tap out, because the why the cabinet and why the crossover are joined at the hip, why you can't just move one to the other, that's not a manufacturing question, that's acoustics. And I'm not going to attempt to design my own crossover. So I did the only smart thing I could do. I called Danny Richie, GR Research. If you're into this hobby, you most likely know his name. And in the next video, Danny himself will walk through this speaker, every component, every choice, and why the crossover had to be built around this exact cabinet. That question I just dodged, well, he's the one who gets to answer it. But here's what I want to tell you on this one. Why Danny? Why out of everyone I could have called, it had to be him? Here's the thing about Danny Richie. In this little world of ours, he's not just a crossover designer. He's one of the names people trust. He's been at this measuring, designing, proving it out for a very long time. But that's not even the main reason I called him. The drivers in my speaker, the woofer, the tweeter, they came from GR Research, Danny's company. These are the drivers I built the whole thing around. So think about it. If I'm building around GR's drivers, who is better positioned to design the crossover for them than GR, than Danny himself? He lives with these drivers. He knows them cold. Nobody was going to do this better. Nobody. And there's one more piece, the one that matters the most to me. A lot of you already know Danny. You trust Danny. You might not agree with everything he says. I don't agree with everything that anyone says. But Danny knows a lot more than I ever will about crossovers. So when I tell you the crossover in this speaker was designed by Danny Richie, that's not me asking you to take my word for it. That's me handing the most important part of my speaker to someone you already believe in. And that's not a shortcut. It's the opposite. It's me refusing to let the most important part of this thing be the part that I'm the weakest at. So that's the whole story behind one decision that most people never think about. And the moment I decided to build my own cabinet, I couldn't just use a crossover that was off the shelf. Simple as that. If you take one thing from this, let it be that. The crossover and the cabinet are a pair. Change one and you'd better be ready to rethink the other. On the next video is the one I'm excited about. Danny sits down and walks through this speaker, every component, every choice he made, and the answer to the question I handed off earlier, why the cabinet and the crossover are locked together. That's coming from the guy who knows, not me. So do me a favor, subscribe so it lands in your feed the day it drops. You don't want to miss Danny on this one. And if you want to see how the finished speaker turned out, you can check out the link below, StoneSonicAudio.com. I'll see you on the next one.